So first things first, let's get the big one that people throw at me. Animal torturer. Am I an animal abuser? Have I tortured animals? So now the animal abuse charges, I have these animals I'm taking in, some from, I went to rescue a dog from the local, this is what makes it even so much worse, from the local humane society. Like 2 of these animals from the situation were rescued from a shelter already, so that makes me feel terrible. So I went to rescue the one dog, and I noticed that there was a greyhound husky mix in a cage kind of off in the corner, and they had no other dogs. They had no other dogs by her. And so I was kind of asking him, like, why is she kind of separated? She would just lay in the corner, all curled up. You could tell she was abused, right? And I'm like, why is she like that? And I could see there was other people in looking, and I'm like, this dog's getting no attention. I felt horrible, right? So we take the little lab home. Hooch is what I named him. We take the little lab puppy home, right? Because the kids liked it. I was dating someone new at the time. He also loved the lab. But I kept seeing this dog curled up in the corner, just kind of scared and timid. Well, the Humane Society told me she had Lyme's disease, and she was, she needed medical treatment and stuff like that, so no one was looking at her. And so I was actually talking to the Humane Society, who don't usually adopt out 2 animals to the same house. At that time, they didn't. And especially not 2 dogs, and especially as quick as I did. I took the 2 dogs home in the same week, so that is not typical there in Minnesota. I was like, I want her. I'm bringing her home. I don't care. And so she had to take tablets. She had to, for her Lyme's disease. And I was like, I am fine with doing that. And actually they waived the adoption fee on her and gave the medicines that she needed. So I had the opportunity to have help with my son, Seth. And because I was pregnant, I was going to need help with the baby. My ex at that time, Leland's father, his grandparents offered me to bring my son, bring my stuff, but that the animals were not welcome, because that's just what the rules were. They weren't into that. That was the offer. And I left the hospital to go there. So again, this is where my sister comes back in. She had moved back to Minnesota. I'm like, okay, this is a perfect opportunity. And I asked my sister, can you stay there, watch the dogs? And I talked to this is what really kind of saved my ass and didn't make it a felony and shit. I was smart enough to go to the park management, whose name is Cindy, and tell her what I was doing and planning, because that park, the management, who was actually on crack, would roll around the streets and just like patrol everyone, just people watch kind of, right? So anyways, left my sister in charge. What does she do? She takes my bank card. Apparently she robbed her fiance like the day before, and she books it out and goes off to Mexico, and I have no idea. I have no idea she even done this. I'm actually texting her and how's blah, 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 and checking up, and she's giving me reports, Now, I did know she's not trustworthy. I had no idea something like this would happen. So I have that charge. Never imagined she would leave my dogs in a hot-ass trailer. You guys know trailers are tin. In the middle of summer, I want to say it was like July. Lights were out, water was off, everything. In fact, it's in the police reports. They couldn't even find me. I actually had no idea, and I didn't get arrested till I went to renew my driver's license one day, something like a year after it even happened. I didn't even know that there was things going on. I knew that the state had come and taken the dogs, but I didn't even know there was like a warrant for me or anything like that. I was like, okay, all animals but one animal was alive, and it is listed on there that there was a dead cat in the garbage can. Everybody in Minnesota will tell y'all that definitely was not me, because there's actually a guy who went around bragging that he did that because I would not date him. My cat, who I called Mama Kitty because she was not neutered, I didn't have the money for that, would run around, and then she'd get pregnant and have kittens all the time, and then people would love the kittens and take the kittens, right? So I was kind of okay with it. But Mama Kitty, I stole from a pet store. When I first became a mom, and I was like, oh, these diaper bags are big, right? Went in the pet store. I think Cassidy was a baby, and I was like, can I look at these kittens? And I took that kitten.